This facility wasn't just another warehouse, it was a central hub connecting manufacturing plants, ammunition depots, and frontline delivery routes. By crippling it, Ukraine didn't merely cause a fire, it triggered a logistical nightmare that rippled through the entire Russian military machine. The logistics complex, located on the outskirts of Moscow, had been a vital node in sustaining Russia's extended war effort. It stored ammunition, spare parts, armored vehicle components, and military fuel reserves. All essentials that kept the war front alive. For months, this hub had served as a safe haven for Russia's resupply operations, far from the front lines and supposedly beyond the reach of Ukrainian strikes. But the 217 drone ambush changed that illusion overnight. As the drones descended, Russian air defenses scrambled into action. Thumb. Sirens wailed across nearby districts and anti-aircraft fire streaked through the dark skies. Yet despite Moscow's layered defense systems, several drones pierced through. Within minutes, multiple sections of the logistics center were engulfed in flames. Massive fireballs illuminated the night sky as warehouses collapsed and fuel tanks detonated in a chain reaction. Emergency services rushed in, but the scale of destruction was too vast. Entire supply corridors were reduced to twisted steel and burning wreckage. Military analysts describe this as a precision strike aimed not at soldiers, but at the lifeblood of Russia's military operations, its logistics. Every tank, missile, and armored vehicle on the front line depends on a complex web of transport and storage systems. Disrupting even one major node in that system can cause delays that ripple outward like shockwaves. Now, with Moscow's central logistics base partially destroyed, Russia faces costly delays in resupplying its forces across multiple combat zones. The impact is both material and psychological. Russian logistics officers now face the daunting task of rerouting supply convoys over hundreds of additional kilometers through less secure corridors. Fuel and ammunition deliveries will take longer and cost more. Maintenance operations will slow down as critical spare parts become harder to move. Even minor frontline shortages could cascade into tactical disadvantages. From grounded aircraft to stalled tank offensives, in military terms, Ukraine just struck at the enemy's heart without firing a single conventional shell. Beyond the battlefield, the political implications are enormous. The Kremlin has long prided itself on its ability to protect strategic infrastructure deep inside Russia. This attack shattered that confidence. Moscow residents, once insulated from the realities of war, watched from their balconies as plumes of smoke rose in the distance, a grim reminder that the conflict had reached their doorstep. Economically, the strike's consequences are staggering. Preliminary assessments suggest losses exceeding hundreds of millions of dollars in destroyed assets, with months needed to restore full operational capacity. Supply shortages will likely force Russia to divert funds from other sectors to compensate, tightening an already strained wartime economy. Ukraine's strategy here is both calculated and psychological. By striking a logistics hub rather than military barracks or civilian areas, Kyiv sends a clear message. It can and will target the machinery that keeps the Russian war effort alive. Each successful strike chips away not only at Moscow's infrastructure, but also at its image of invulnerability. Global reactions have been swift. Western defense analysts see this as evidence that Ukraine's drone program has reached a new level of sophistication. The attack shows how modern warfare has evolved, where technology and intelligence can neutralize even billion-dollar facilities without traditional air raids or heavy artillery. In short, the destruction of Moscow's logistics hub is more than just an attack. It's a strategic masterstroke. It exposes the fragility of Russia's supply networks and proves that no amount of wealth or size can shield a military superpower from precision warfare. For Russia, rebuilding will be costly and time-consuming. For Ukraine, the message is clear and resounding. The deeper the target, the greater the impact. The 217 drone ambush on Moscow's $1.7 billion military logistics complex was not just a tactical strike. It was a strategic earthquake that sent ripples through Russia's military, political, and psychological landscape. Beyond the fire and smoke, this operation symbolizes a new chapter in modern warfare, one where drones and data can outmaneuver tanks and missiles, and where the battlefield now extends deep into the enemy's homeland. For months, Russia had grown confident in its defense posture. With fortified borders, dense anti-aircraft systems, and layers of radar coverage, Moscow was seen as an untouchable fortress. But this strike shattered that myth in an instant. Ukraine's ability to orchestrate such a massive synchronized drone assault exposed cracks in Russia's air defense network, cracks that run from the outer perimeter of the capital to its most secure military facilities. The psychological blow was immense. If Ukraine can strike Moscow, where is safe anymore? Strategically, the timing of this attack couldn't have been more significant. As Russian forces continue grinding offensives in eastern Ukraine, their logistical demands have skyrocketed. Supply convoys, fuel pipelines, and ammunition chains are stretched thin. By targeting the core logistics hub near Moscow, Ukraine effectively choked the arteries that feed the Russian war machine. Free destroyed depot, every burned warehouse, forces Russia to rethink its movement, resupply, and defense priorities. The result, operational slowdowns, resource reallocation, and mounting pressure on commanders across the front. But the effects go far beyond logistics. The strategic ripple of this attack has reshaped both nations' approaches to the war. For Ukraine, it's a powerful demonstration of capability and resolve. The strike shows that Ukraine's drone forces can not only defend their homeland, but project power deep into enemy territory. This shift in offensive capability strengthens Kiev's hand both militarily and diplomatically. Western allies now see tangible results from their technological aid and intelligence sharing. Proof that Ukraine can use innovation to level the playing field against a larger adversary. For Russia, however, the implications are deeply unsettling. The Kremlin now faces the difficult choice of whether to divert advanced air defense systems away from the front lines to protect critical infrastructure within its borders. Doing so would weaken its offensive edge. Failing to do so risks further attacks on high-value targets near Moscow. This strategic dilemma stretches Russia's already strained resources thin, forcing it into a defensive posture at home while still fighting abroad. The political reverberations inside Russia are equally profound. As footage of the burning logistics center spreads online, public confidence in the government's security promises continues to erode. The perception that even the capital, once considered invincible, can be hit so hard challenges the Kremlin's narrative of control and superiority. Political analysts suggest that this event will fuel growing unease among Moscow's elite, who see their own safety and economic interest increasingly threatened by a war once thought distant. Internationally, this attack reinforces a broader trend in modern conflict: the decentralization of power through technology. Drones have become the equalizers of the battlefield, affordable, adaptable, and terrifyingly effective. Ukraine's use of them in a swarm-like coordination represents the future of warfare, where precision and persistence can achieve what brute force cannot. Military observers worldwide are now studying this operation as a textbook case of how asymmetric tactics can cripple a conventional superpower. Economically, the ripple continues. Insurance rates for key Russian industries have spiked. Transport companies are rerouting shipments. Even the perception of insecurity around Moscow has global investors reassessing risk exposure. A single strike has thus set off a chain reaction, not only in military terms, but across political and economic domains. Ultimately, this attack's true power lies in the message it sends. Ukraine is not only defending, it's dictating the terms of engagement. By forcing Russia to respond, react, and reinforce, Kiev has shifted the initiative of the war. The strategic ripple isn't just about destruction, it's about disruption. It changes how both sides think, plan, and act moving forward. In the modern age of warfare, dominance isn't decided solely by firepower, but by the ability to redefine the battlefield itself. Ukraine's drone ambush did exactly that, not just hitting a target, but altering the entire rhythm of the conflict. The aftershocks will echo far beyond Moscow, reshaping strategies, defenses, and the psychology of war in the 21st century.